Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Inspiration for Today. It's Tuesday, and I'm coming to you today from, can you guess, from what's behind me? I don't think you can. Maybe. Lake Tahoe. We're in South Lake Tahoe. But it's not like I've seen it before. We've come here many times over the years. We have a place that we stay at that's right on the lake, and we love it. But as you can see, it's not very pretty right now. It is not its usual self. Why? And I think you know why. I mean, you can't see much because of the fires. At one point, of course, they were worried that the fire would destroy the whole town. But it was stopped. Our brave firefighters did that, and the Lord really saved it. So, but look at that. Actually, I shot some video yesterday. Let me just play that. This was from a different location on the, let's see, that would be kind of the southwestern side of the lake. And always you can see the mountains and the snow and the nice, and not now. And you see haze, and the air quality is quite poor. But I wanted you to see that because today, our trip from the last show was filled with results of fire. So let me give you the verse for today. It's interesting because God uses fire. We see it as only destructive, but actually it's, well, let me give you the verse for the day, and then we'll go back to how this applies. And it comes from 2 Peter chapter 3, and it says, "But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar, the elements will be destroyed by fire." The day of the Lord's coming, and it goes on, "And the earth and everything in it will be laid bare." And as you can see from some of these pictures that we shot along the way, getting to Lake Tahoe, you come across results of many fires. And one thing you see is that it's laid bare. But let me ask you this. Well, actually, one other thing I wanted to show you, because we tried even to go to Mount Lassen. Well, I was going to do a show from Mount Lassen National Park. We've been there before, and I know you would have enjoyed it. In fact, earlier in the year, Paul and Lorena Swift went up there, and they tried to take pictures. And let me just show you what. I mean, Paul was right by one of my favorite spots in Mount Lassen, and it's the mud pots, where you see the water boiling because the earth is cooling, and that's how it shows itself. But so you can see the mud pot, but also notice the smoke they endured. But when they were there, the park was open. We drove all the way there, and I was so silly that I didn't check in advance, but we got there, and it said, there was a sign that said, "Park closed due to Dixie fire." But the thing about fire, yes, it lays bare. Everything is gone. But you know, we also drove by other places where fire had been a few years in the past. And you know what you see? Great growth of trees, grass, bushes, and it's all green and fresh and new. And when we see and we think about the Lord destroying the earth by fire, He's not ending the earth. He's getting it cleaned out so that we will enjoy it forever, and it'll be refreshed and anew. And then when he talks about renewing of the earth in Revelation 21, that the New Jerusalem comes down to earth, it'll be a refreshed earth. And it's going to be wonderful and new and sinless. So I hope that when I read this verse of the day, it's a verse of hope and looking forward to the future, because it's renewing the earth. And it's going to be a wonderful thing. Now, it's not a statement to be feared, is it? As I'm showing you some other pictures, and even around South Lake Tahoe, you can see on the mountains where the fire came and then it stopped. And over again you see that. It's just, when Peter says this, he's not saying that it'll be destroyed by fire, the earth and everything it will be laid bare. And why does he say this? Well, for those who are followers of Christ, we'll read that in just a second. But right before this verse, he says that God is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. And then he goes on to say that the heavens will disappear and the earth and everything in it will be laid bare. Peter's bringing up this subject to make us think seriously about life. And it's easy to get caught up in the scenery and the fires and all that God has allowed to happen in this area. But ultimately, he does these things to cause us to think about life and to come to him, to be in awe of him. And so I just encourage you, if you want to be on the winning side, consider the Lord. Don't just put him off and think to the future. No reason for that, because the fact is, the future is now. You don't know what you don't know what today brings. If you haven't opened your heart to the Lord, I would encourage you to just bow your head in prayer and invite him into your life. Now, in verse, he says, for those who are already followers of Christ, the verse right after this says, since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be? In other words, for those who are already followers of Christ, Peter is encouraging them, let's think about it too. What kind of people should we then be? And you think to yourself, well, that's way in the future. Yeah, it is, probably. Although that's another, we think that the Lord is coming back soon. But you know what? Peter gives the answer. He doesn't just ask that question. He gives us the answer. And he says, you ought to live holy and godly lives. It's to make a difference in our lives right now. Because this is serious. It's not about the things that we have now or making our life simple. It's about being about things of the Lord. The end, either soon or later, is coming. And it's coming for each one of us in the form of either Jesus coming back or us going to him through death. So this is a limited time, like a limited time offer. Live lives, as he says, holy and godly lives. So as we think about, when we hear about the fires, and there'll be more fires, there's been fires my whole life, and certainly around us, sometimes it burns right there in Lake Forest or even in Laguna. I had numerous friends lose homes in Laguna back a while back. But it's all from God. To be serious, to live godly and holy lives. When we hear a fire, let's think of that and our verse for the day. Hey, thanks for being with us. We got a completely different show tomorrow, but I think you're going to enjoy it immensely. God bless. Have a great day in the Lord. I'll see you tomorrow.